Our people are scattered, like stars in the galaxy. What are we? What do we stand for? Being a Mandalorian is not just learning about how to fight. You also have to know how to navigate the galaxy. That way, you'll never be lost. I'm going to Mandalore so that I may be forgiven for my transgressions.
May the Force be with you!
This is the way.
There's something dangerous happening out there. And by the time it becomes big enough for you to act, it'll be too late.
Hang on, kid. This is the way.
Jon Favreau from Forest Hills in Queens all the way to the...
Your research.
Yes! Do you know why? Because I watched your speech when you got the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And it was quite endearing. I love that. What does that mean to you that you're finally, we're going to be able to walk on you, pee on you,
Yeah, that's pretty much the first two thoughts that jumped in my head as well. I got to say I don't really remember the speech that much. It was a little bit surreal because, you go there and that's a little important piece of street for me there. That was right in front of the El Capitan Theater, where we're going to be doing a screening event for The Mandalorian coming up when I go home. I'm in the UK now, and we had Iron Man premieres there, and Spider-Man, and Jungle Book and Lion King. So for me to actually be there, part of the sidewalk, part of the foundation of that neighborhood for all the next generation of aspiring filmmakers and actors to be walking up and down those streets, looking at those names, to be part of that fabric is really an honor.
Is there a bit of a pressure on you because everybody calls you the savior of Iron Man, the savior of the Marvel universe, the savior of George Lucas's dream? Every time you get into a project, do you feel like a little bit of a pressure that, oh, Jon, everybody's counting on you?
I do. I feel a pressure that I want to be responsible to the audience. I really like it when they like it. I'm the kind of storyteller and filmmaker where I really do care about the reaction. There's some filmmakers who are artists and as long as they're happy with it, even if people don't understand it, they're satisfied. I'm not that way. Maybe because I came up in comedy, I like the laughter, I like the cheers. I really like that. And being a filmmaker, you get to extend so much past what you could do as a performer. And I'm working with all these great visual effects people, these great directors and other actors and costume designers. So I love when people get excited about it. But, they hate me a lot too. They'll yell at me a lot if they don't like something I do. So, but I think it's a net positive. I think people for the most part like it. But I've had movies that didn't work, and they like to yell at you a lot now, especially with the internet. But I love what I do, and I love that people are excited about this, and I hope they enjoy it as much as we do.
I've got to say, my wife is a big fan of The Mandalorian. When I said to her, we're going to chat to you, she started screaming and she said, Baby Yoda, how much Baby Yoda are we going to see in this? And when is Grogu getting his own series? She's like, that's all you have to ask, Jon. That's all I want to know.
Well, you're going to see a lot of Baby Yoda here, and Grogu is what's great about having spent 2 years away and checking in with these characters. And in the other series, the Book of Boba Fett, we saw that Baby Yoda was training with Luke Skywalker. We saw that the Mandalorian really missed his little pal, and now them being reunited and starting a new season, we're going to see how much things have changed in that relationship. And although Baby Yoda didn't get much taller or much bigger, he's learned a lot. and he's starting to mature, and you're going to see him not be the helpless little infant that he was when we first saved him.
You seem to have this eye in the Star Wars universe for catching these characters, you know. So like the world fell in love with Grogu immediately as much as we fell in love with the Mandalorian. Is there another character in the universe that has caught your eye that you're like, maybe there's a story to tell there?
Oh boy, that's a good question. There's a lot of great characters there, and there are some that are from like books too that were never in movies, and there's it's such a knowledgeable fan base that, you know, everybody has favorites. I know one of them that popped up was Grand Admiral Thrawn. We mentioned that character. That's a very good character that's never been in live action from my knowledge, but has been in books and animation. So he's a very compelling character.
And when it comes to the tech, I mean, this is the best tech that we've seen on TV and in film. Do you sometimes worry that the tech gets so far ahead of, you know, costumes and script? Or how do you work it that everything matches on the same level? Because when the execution happens, it happens properly. But we do know that we're dealing with the best tech in the world when it comes to this.
Well, thank you. I'm very lucky to be partnered up with the people at ILM, Industrial Light and Magic, the company that George Lucas started, in order to create the technology so that he could present the space battles that we saw in the very first Star Wars film. And that was built around miniatures and motion control cameras. And although that feels very nostalgic now, and we still use some of those techniques in the show, it was always about cutting edge technology. And that's part of the magic trick with Star Wars, is creating the backdrop of technology and magic, but having very strong characters that mean more than any of that. So hopefully the characters are outshining what surrounds them, because at its heart, it has to be about families and people and struggle and good versus evil.
Okay.
Jon, thank you so much, man. We've been looking forward to the 3rd season of Mandalorian for so long. So we can't wait to get stuck into this. I'm so excited.
March 1, Disney Plus, all across the world. Thank you so much, Jon.
Take care.
Anele and the Club
On 947, every weekday.
6 to 9 a.m.